Hello, good evening. Will everyone please take their seats? Could everyone please take their seats? The program will start now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight for the YWCA's Tribute to Women Awards. My name is Sam Bobola. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Oh, there we go. Clink your glasses. I can't whistle. There we go. Who was that? Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. My name is Sam Bobola. I am the YWCA Princeton's Director of Fund Development. And for the next 90 minutes, I'm going to speak to you about timeshares. We have an award show. So thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. We're so excited you can be here for tonight's Tribute to Women Awards. We have an exciting program for you to honor the 8 women who are in this room to celebrate their accomplishments. I hope you'll join us by using the hashtags that are on your table, hashtag Wells Fargo Tribute and hashtag On a Mission, for any social media posts that you're doing right now. I hope you'll join in our celebration tonight. At this time, I'd like to introduce the CEO of the YWCA Princeton, Judy Hutton.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you for calming the crowd. Welcome to the YWCA Tribute for Women. And you know what today is? International Women's Day on this very day. The day we celebrate women's achievements throughout history and across nations. And tonight, we're celebrating 8 extraordinary women and we are lucky enough to know, admire, and support. Tonight, you become a very special member of our network of over 600 honorees from Trenton, Princeton, and well beyond. And together, we really rock the world. So thank you. We have a very special message tonight for you and everyone in the audience from our First Lady, Tammy Murphy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm First Lady Tammy Murphy, and I want to thank you for inviting me to say a few words during your Tribute to Women Awards. Over the past year, women have continued to lead and help push New Jersey forward. Many of those women are being honored in the room with you today. Whether in government and politics, in business, in organized labor, in education, in legal services, in fighting for equality, or in representing our nation on the world stage, it's hard to look out at this audience and not be inspired. We all are connected in a long line of women pioneers from New Jersey. Some of their names are written into our history books. More likely, their names are only known to us or to our communities. Women's History Month is our time to make sure our forgotten heroes and role models are forgotten no more. Tonight, we celebrate the source of our strength, the women of New Jersey. I am passionate about empowering women, and I am focused on doing this through Nurture NJ, my statewide campaign committed to reducing infant and maternal mortality and morbidity and ensuring equitable maternal and infant care among women and children of all races and ethnicities. The campaign is devoted to serving every mother, every baby, and every family. Phil, Sheila, and the entire administration are committed to healthcare equality, and I've made it my personal mission to improve the health and safety of all New Jersey's women and children and to eliminate the abhorrent racial disparities. Together, we are working every angle to better serve our mothers, babies, and families. Together, we are ensuring all women prosper across New Jersey. This month is about celebrating the women writing the next chapters, all of you, the generation to come. Congratulations to tonight's award recipients, and thank you for what each of you do individually and collectively. I hope to see you soon in person.
An event like this would not be possible without our Tribute to Women Events Committee. So could you please stand and take a bow? And there's many of you out there. And of course, our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, Wells Fargo. Our sustaining sponsor, NJM Insurance Group. Our collaborating sponsors, Thomas Edison State University, Capitol Health, Bernie and Ann Flynn. Our media sponsor, NJBIA. Our ad book sponsor, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group. Our chamber sponsor is the Princeton Regional Chamber of Commerce. And our in-kind sponsors are many: Cosmetics by Catelli, Cranberry Station Gallery, Diverse Style Multicultural Salon, Hamilton Jewelers, the Hyatt Regency, Lisa Sullivan Digital Artist, Monday Morning Flower and Balloons, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group. You know, they're like that Action News van where they're everywhere. New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, Princetonian Graphics, and Riverview Studios. And I would also like to recognize the elected officials in the room tonight: Councilwoman Denise Daniels, Assemblywoman Verlina Reynolds-Jackson, and Freeholder Nina Melker. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to our Board of Directors, our President, Megan Adams.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. As I gaze out over this beautiful room and take in the size of the group in attendance tonight, I have to say that as board president, I am amazed by the incredible number of people in this community who year in and year out support and believe in the work of the YW, and especially in this signature event. It has been my great honor to serve on the YWCA board for almost 6 years, and to take on the role of board chair this past year. I would like to extend gratitude to my fellow YWCA board members and the members of the Next Gen board for their commitment and dedication to the YW Princeton. These special women serve as ambassadors for this great organization. I would ask at this time for my fellow board members and Next Gen board members in attendance here tonight to stand and be recognized. Thank you, ladies. This incredible group of women, together with the staff of the YWCA, our amazing friends group, our many, many volunteers and supporters, are the reason for the advancement of our mission. The YWCA mission to eliminate racism and empower women is so important today, perhaps more than ever. The YWCA has been at the forefront of critical social justice issues throughout our nation's history, and I am so very proud to be part of an organization that is really part of a movement that fights for peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. The YWCA proudly offers programs that tackle the byproducts of systematic racism and gender inequality, dealing directly with issues of affordability and access. Each year, we serve thousands of people across Mercer County, and each is touched by our mission in the process. All of you here tonight helped to make this happen, and we thank you. Our community supporters also make it possible for the YWCA to achieve our mission. One such community supporter, Wells Fargo, has returned this year as tribute to Women's presenting sponsor, signaling their continuing support and commitment to our mission and to this special event. The YWCA Princeton is deeply grateful for the support of Wells Fargo. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Paralee Knight from the Wells Fargo Foundation. Paralee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. Good evening, everyone. Happy Women's History Month, happy International Women's Day, and TGIF, happy Friday. I bring you greetings from Wells Fargo, and we are proud to be the presenting sponsor of tonight's event. My name is Paralee Knight, and I am the Community Relations Consultant for New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut for Wells Fargo. Let me take a moment to stop and recognize the leadership, staff, and partners who contribute to the success of the YWCA. The work that this organization has done for almost 100 years to help eliminate racism and empower women is remarkable. Whether it be through literacy programs, introducing young people to robotics, or teaching young parents the basics of childhood development, the YWCA plays a critical role in ensuring that we are developing strong leaders for the future. So if we could please stop and give them applause for that. I think that they deserve that. Now, I am not here tonight alone. We are many in number. I'm joined tonight by many of my Wells Fargo team. If you could please just raise your hands and let everybody know you're in the room. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight in support of Wells Fargo for this evening. At Wells Fargo, diversity is a core component of our vision and values. And we've been fortunate to see on firsthand how the company invests in the development of diverse talent throughout all levels of our organization, ultimately allowing us to better serve our customers. We live in a time where it's very important to celebrate female leaders who are paving the way and opening doors and making sure that other women have a seat at the table and also a voice in the right rooms. When thinking of trailblazers and those who have paved the way for me, oftentimes I think back to how as women, our early role models are usually our mothers, and unfortunately, I lost my mother at a young age. I was around 8 years old when she passed away. But I've always been very fortunate to have strong, determined, successful women in my life. And one of those women that I'm really, really grateful for is my aunt. So she had a birthday recently, and I gave her a call. She lives in Florida, and I said, "Hey, Auntie, happy birthday to you." And when she answered the phone, she was like, "Hey, how are you?" And so the running joke in my family is that she's over 70, but nobody really knows her real age. She'll never tell. So I said, "This year, are you going to tell everybody how old you are this year, or are we still keeping the secret?" She says, "Girl, I'll never tell." And I said, "Well, Auntie, why?" Because I know that she's not afraid, she's not embarrassed about her age. So I asked her, why is it she'll never tell? And she said, "Because I refuse to be stuck by barriers." She said, "Sometimes when you're a certain age and you're too young, they say you're too young to do things. And sometimes when you get up there in age, they say you're too old." And she said, "I refuse to be bound by barriers." Now, normally speaking, this may just seem like a regular conversation with somebody who wants to hide their age. But let me just very briefly tell you a little bit about her. This is a woman who dropped out of school when she was 16 years old. And then she got married. And she raised a family, and she went back to school. She got her high school diploma. She got her bachelor's degree. She went on to get her master's degree. She became a second mother to the sisters' children who passed away. She went on to get her PhD. And then later on, she went on to become the first African-American female general of the United States Army Reserves. I'm very proud of her. Her name is Carrie Nero, if you ever want to look her up. I'm very proud of her, and I'm also very proud and thankful for women like the honorees here tonight. We recognize the work that you do, and we're continuing to help you blaze those trails. We know it's not always easy, but we're grateful for your tireless efforts, and on behalf of those who come behind you. Thank you again to the YWCA for allowing us to share this evening with you. Congratulations to tonight's honorees, and let's continue to break down barriers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Paralee and Wells Fargo. You know, barriers is something that really resonates with me. It's very hard for me to stand behind a podium because like the 8 women we're celebrating tonight, I too don't like barriers. So that piece really echoed with me. So tonight the dinner service is going to begin, so please enjoy your salads and your entrees will be out shortly.
Okay, good evening again. And in our preschool, to get people's attention, we do this. I think you did pretty good. Not as good as our preschoolers, but pretty good. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. I certainly did, and certainly the company at my table. And I would like to introduce you to our Tribute to Women co-chairs, also former honorees, Anna Lustenberg and Kathy McGuire-Marolda.
Good evening. Thank you again to all of the sponsors who have contributed to making this night possible. As a former honoree in 2010, I am so proud to introduce this class of 2019. Knowing from personal experience, this is a wonderful evening, life-changing, and how wonderful it is to be receiving this award. So congratulations to everyone.
Good evening. I'm Anna Lustenberg. I'm the class of 2006. And I'd like to congratulate our honorees, and I encourage them to continue to be ambassadors in their communities and remain involved with the YWCA. And now, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's please lower the lights and bring your undivided attention to the video screens.
I am a tribute to women honoree. I am a tribute to women honoree.
I am a tribute to women honoree.
I am a tribute to women honoree.
I am a tribute to women honoree.
I am a tribute to women honoree.
I am a tribute to women honoree.
I, for many years, have been a community volunteer, both at the YWCA and several other nonprofits in the Princeton area. The mission of the YWCA is very appealing to me, and I've been involved at the YW since I arrived in Princeton. I started out in the Newcomers Club, as I think a lot of women do when they are new in town, and I never left.
I am the president and CEO of the New Jersey Healthcare Quality Institute, and through our work we improve the quality and safety and affordability of healthcare here in New Jersey. I do what I do because I'm passionate about making healthcare better and more affordable for people and really improving the lives of people in New Jersey.
I am the executive director of the Trenton Circus Squad. I've always been really fascinated in the power of the arts and creativity to draw people together. And when people build trust, they can solve a lot of other problems together.
I work on anti-racism. I do that through an organization called Not in Our Town, Princeton. Racism. I see how it harms people. And I also understand how it robs our country.
I own a government relations and public affairs firm in West Trenton, New Jersey, and I am a board of director member for CASA, which is Court Appointed Special Advocates of Mercer and Burlington. I do what I do because I think it's a responsibility of mine to give back every day to those that don't have the same opportunities that we have.
My role is chairman of the campaign for the Building for the Future for the Princeton First Aid and Rescue Squad. After my husband was stabbed in 2003, Princeton First Aid and Rescue Squad came to his rescue, and after his death during Hurricane Sandy in 2012, I decided that I would be happy to help them.
I am the Vice President for Community and Government Affairs at Thomas Edison State University. I find it to be my responsibility, but also my passion as a woman of color to help not only erase racism and progress women, but want to ensure that there are opportunities offered for not only people of color, but women.
I work for NJM Insurance Group today. I'm the Chief Underwriting Officer and the first female member of the executive leadership team. The company I work for is part of the solution, if you will. They recognize achievements, they recognize skills and accomplishments regardless of gender or race, and that's how it should be.
There is such a need, and there aren't many voices of color at the table. So to be able to ensure that I am a voice at the table for women, for people of color who aren't always at those tables, whose perspectives, if you will, are not always considered, is important.
I think that the world we live in today requires that kind of a focus as much as it ever did, and unfortunately, and if I can use that word, we have not gotten to a place where these issues have been addressed and dealt with to the extent that they should be, and I think that we still need to work on it.
I saw that a lot of those struggles for individuals really needed to be solved in a long-term fashion through policy changes. And so that's why I decided to move on to working at the state legislature and then now the Quality Institute, really focused more on the systemic level of how do we improve the whole system.
And recognizing that there were very few opportunities for youth in that area to be in a safe place after school, to make more of themselves, to find what they loved, to connect with each other, to run something, to own something, to feel powerful.
I have to say, it was my mother. She was a great example to me for getting involved in the community and doing volunteer work. And I think that I just absorbed that growing up and, went on when I had the opportunity to do the same thing.
I've been inspired by, first of all, my family. I'm part of a multiracial family. I'm married to a white man, but our children are all of African descent, and I have grandchildren of African and Asian descent, so I have my family. Shirley Satterfield, I have to say, first and foremost, has been an inspiration in her dedication to the work of making the history of the Princeton African American community known.
My mother and father, who both have passed on, were amazing people. I have a few women who have been so committed to my professional and personal success. Paulette Flagg, Amy Mansue, Sonia Delgado in particular, who have had those early morning conversations with me on here's how you really need to think about this, right? Sometimes when I didn't want to hear that, but I needed to hear that, right?
Women who have inspired me are perhaps the obvious. My own mother, my husband's mother, were wonderful human beings, and then I see my own two daughters inspire me every day with the work that they're doing, and then my son is a terrific inspiration as well. But I guess the number one reason that I'm in the position I'm in now is because my husband was a huge inspiration to me, and had a wonderful 33-year marriage, and to be able to carry on some of the work that was important to him is really meaningful to me.
My parents in particular are immigrants from another country. They instilled in me a work ethic that was, you work hard and you do right by other people, and great things will happen. And they have inspired me my whole life.
I have mentioned in the past I'm from a big family, very supportive. My father was probably my biggest champion, and my mother too, but professionally my father. If I were to mention any names from a professional experience, the person who's probably made me the toughest is probably Bernie Flynn, the former CEO of NJM.
And local leaders such as Connie Mercer and Marty Johnson, Eleanor Horn have been really helpful to me in figuring out how to take this path.
Oh, I have a whole host of mentors from my parents, my grandmother, to Kathy Crotty, who I worked with at the Senate Majority Office. I worked for Commissioner Goldman at Department of Banking and Insurance, who is one of the smartest people I ever worked with. An old-time Mercer County lawyer, Joe Markowitz, who was probably one of the most compassionate people.
The mission of the Y is, to me, very important to communities. I see the Y as a thread in the fabric of the community that is a support system for those who don't have the same opportunities as others.
The work that the YWCA does helps to ensure that we're progressing towards what's only right and ensuring that they have an opportunity and a chance just like everyone else.
I've learned that if you bring more people to the table, you end up with something better. And I think eliminating racism and empowering women only gets us there. And I think the mission is an excellent mission and one that we should all be proud to be part of.
I would like to just see us do a lot better with those issues. We just have to keep trying.
I just do what I think is important in the town of Princeton and give back where I can, and sharing the importance of taking care of one another, male, female, white, black, any colors, any size, any shape. I'm happy to do that.
I can be really conscious of my own role and my own power as a gatekeeper, and try to help elevate the voices of people of color, to draw people's attention to disparities, and then get out of the way and let people of color lead.
I spend essentially all my waking time thinking about racism and ways to face it, reading about it, educating myself, speaking about it, teaching about it.
The advice I'd give someone that wanted to follow in my footsteps is, don't be afraid to take small risks. Even if you fail, you still learn from that. And I've learned that risks are the way you advance yourself and the things you care about.
To create your own path. And while you're on your own path, find good mentors, be true to yourself, stay encouraged, be authentic, and always recognize that no matter what others tell you, you are good enough.
Set your sights on something and figure out how to get there.
Try to do away with that imposter syndrome, which is essentially very real for a lot of women, probably not just women, but I know a lot of women myself who have it, where you just always think you're not quite there, you're not good enough. You're in the room, but you might not think you should be there, and that's a lot of wasted energy.
The Tribute to Women award means to me that I have an even greater obligation to live up to the example of women who have come before me.
Having this honor means a lot to me. I've been going to the YWCA and I see every day the fantastic work they do for women and children and families throughout Mercer County, and so to be part of that legacy it's really means a lot to me, and I'm honored.
It's an incredible honor, but I think it also validates the importance of doing volunteer work in the community.
I'm really happy to be receiving this award just because it's going to give me the ability to tell other people about First Aid and Rescue Squad as well as the Y, and that's important to me.
I will continue on my volunteer road, and I'm looking forward to that.
Right now, I'm excited about what I'm doing at the Quality Institute. I've grown the organization. We have a lot of big initiatives going on.
At the end of March of 2019, I am stepping aside as Executive Director of the Trenton Circus Squad, and I am returning to my consulting practice. I'm actually working with a colleague, and we're going to be starting a company in the local area.
My next steps will always take place through not in our town, Princeton. And we would like to go perhaps beyond Princeton, but certainly still within Princeton, to reach as many organizations as possible.
I want to be able to explain and show others that doing that is not all that difficult if you kind of stay true to yourself. And to the extent that I can continue over my next few years of professional involvement to be a mentor for others, that would be the most fulfilling for me.
Trying to be a good role model for my daughters and for other women, and show that you just work hard and have confidence and try to surround yourself with positive people who believe in you, and you can do it.
I look forward to continuing to help organizations that intrigue me and inspire me, and I'm not sure what those will be, but I always look forward to volunteering wherever I can and growing that way.
We'll have to wait and see. No matter what I do next, it will be something where I am serving others, where I'm advocating for others. There, as I said, without labor, we don't prosper.
So what did you think of that video? Would you like to? Yep, that's what I was going to say. Please join me in a round of applause for the honorees and everyone who made the video possible. At this time, I would like to present the awards to the honorees. Each honoree is receiving a resolution passed by the New Jersey State Legislature, sponsored by Senator Shirley K. Turner, who is also a former honoree. Senator Cory Booker also provided congratulatory letters for the women. You will see these on the screen. And now, the honorees. Barbara Purnell is receiving the Waxwood Lifetime Award for Service. Barbara is a lifelong volunteer with the YWCA. Congratulations.
It is such an honor to have been selected to receive the Waxwood Award, especially to be recognized for volunteer pursuits that have brought so much personal enjoyment and satisfaction to me. I'm grateful to be living in such a vibrant community, one in which the YWCA Princeton has been a beacon of inspiring leadership. Thank you.
Linda Oppenheim is receiving the Fannie Floyd Racial Justice Award. Linda is a community activist involved with Not in Our Town, Princeton, and has dedicated her life to eliminating racism. Congratulations on receiving this award, Linda. Come on up. Thank you to the YWCA for honoring me with the Fannie Floyd Racial Justice Award, to the board, Judy Hutton, and your wonderful staff. I'm humbled to be a part of this group of accomplished and dedicated women, and in a room filled with activists. Not in our town, Princeton, and YWCA Princeton have partnered over the years, but we have also challenged each other to live up to our missions. Making people aware of their implicit biases, which we all have embedded within us by the white supremacist society in which we live, and helping people deal with these biases is what Not in Our Town, Princeton does. At our last monthly continuing conversation on race and white privilege, a man who grew up in Princeton but was a first-time attendee compared these multiracial conversations to the truth and reconciliation process in South Africa. This work is not a one-person job. A few of the Not in Our Town board members are here, and I'd like to ask them now to stand and be recognized. Please stand up. First of all, Shirley Satterfield, my nominator, who's truly a legend in our community, who has led the preservation of the history of the African American community in Princeton through her tours of the neighborhood, her establishment and leadership of the Witherspoon Jackson Historical and Cultural Society, and active in making the neighborhood a historic district, and speaking out on the many boards on which she has served. When people tell me I do so much, I'm just trying to keep up with Shirley. Fern Spruill, last year's Fannie Floyd Award winner, a former school board member, Civil Rights Commission member, and her husband Larry Spruill, with whom I had the pleasure of co-chairing Not in Our Town for 3 years, founded and led for over a decade the amazing mentoring organization, Committed and Faithful Princetonians. Joyce Trotman Jordan, who is our current Not in Our Town vice chair and a presenter par excellence. Wilma Solomon, who preceded Larry and me as president of Not in Our Town and leads our Unity Award work, which recognizes middle school and high school students throughout the community who represent Not in Our Town values, and who co-leads with me workshops on racism at our synagogue, and who is tireless in her many social justice efforts. Joanne Parker, who has worked with and advocated for Princeton children, including mine, for decades at the John Witherspoon Middle School, the YMCA, and her church. And her husband, Tom Parker, while has not officially been part of Not in Our Town, we've worked side by side many times, and he most currently is chair of the Civil Rights Commission. So I have to recognize my family, my husband, Bob Karp, who in his career as a pediatrician worked on the nutrition for children and families in impoverished communities, who tolerates endless meetings at our house and makes great guacamole for me to serve there. My children, Michael and Emma, I love you very much. I'm so proud of you, the people that you've become, what you've accomplished in your careers, and the wonderful parents that you are. You are the blessing of my life. And your partners, our daughter-in-law Heather and Emma's partner Brandon, who have made you both very happy, and we love you very much. And most of all, 3 of my 5 beautiful granddaughters,
Livy, Malin, and Bella, it is for you, my darlings, that this work is so important so that all the children can grow up in a world that is fairer and more equitable. It's the work that all of us can do and the work that we must do. Thank you.
Tracy McManaman has broken the glass ceiling. She is the Senior VP and Chief Underwriting Officer at NJM and is the first woman executive to serve on NJM's board. Congratulations, Tracy. Come on up.
Thank you. I can't see you, but thank you. I just would, a couple things. I want to first congratulate my fellow honorees here tonight and also thank each of them for the very obvious heart and soul, talent and time that they put in service to others. It really is quite humbling to be among this group of women and all who came before, I think, in the 40 years that you did this. 40 plus years that you've done this wonderful event. Secondarily, I have to give a very, very special thank you to my family and friends, many of whom are here with me this evening. I really, well, I'll say this, you all know me very well. So you know how very much I appreciate you being here with me on this very precious Friday evening. So thank you. And lastly, I just want to, and most importantly, I should say, I want to thank the Princeton YWCA and the YWCA in general for more than a century of tenacity and hard work on behalf of essentially a better life for everyone. Now, that may sound like a bit of an overreach, but I'll just bear with me one more minute. It does resonate with me because I think back to my sophomore year in college, and some of my friends have heard this in family, so you just bear with me. But it resonates with me because I called home. I was doing my weekly wellness call, which is what we used to do back before we were permanently attached with cell phones and such. I was calling home and say basically, you know, I'm alive, and yes, of course I need money. But in this particular call, I was struggling a bit. Grades were a little harder to come by, you know the drill. And so my parents could sense that I was down, and of course they were on either end of the line there. And I remember my dad saying to me, now Tracy, you're there to work really hard, but you're also there to have some fun. It's all about balance. And I've never forgotten that. And so it strikes me as I think about what the Princeton YWCA and the YWCA, I should say in general, has as their mission to eliminate racism and empower women. That's the ultimate balance in my mind. They're not trying to disempower men. You know, they're not trying to keep anybody out who's different. In other words, I think as I said in the video, you bring everybody to the table. And to me, having that right balance is so important, and the work that Princeton YWCA and the greater company does is tremendous in that regard. So kudos to you, and thank you so much for making me be a part of such a great organization. So.
Linda Schwimmer is the President and CEO at New Jersey Healthcare Quality Institute. She has dedicated her whole life to improving healthcare quality and access, and we appreciate her commitment. Congratulations, Linda. Come on up.
Thank you. I want to thank the YWCA for this evening, for making me a part of this wonderful sisterhood, and I want to recognize all of my fellow honorees and all of the women who are here tonight who are past honorees. It's a great honor to be part of this sisterhood and fellowship, and I really want to recognize my circle of family and friends and colleagues. So many of you are here tonight, and I greatly appreciate you being here. I couldn't do any of what I do without my husband Josh and my son Aaron, and we have another one who's off in the Peace Corps right now, but I'm thinking about him, and my parents and my in-laws, my family circle, my colleagues at the Healthcare Quality Institute. Without that circle, and then other colleagues such as my nominator this evening, Planned Parenthood, and all the other organizations that the Quality Institute works with so closely to improve healthcare quality and access here in New Jersey for everyone. We work together, and as we open up our circle and invite others in, I think that's really how we improve quality and improve things here in New Jersey. It's that connection and that collaboration and that opening up to others that really makes the world a better place. And to me, that's what the YWCA is all about, bringing other people in to its own circle and helping them and lifting them up to make the world a better place. And it's great to be part of this evening and this warmth tonight. So thank you.
Robin Walton is the VP of Community and Government Affairs at Thomas Edison State University. She serves on the board of various organizations and is deeply committed to her community. Congratulations, Robin.
I love how the little children are stealing my shine. But that's how it always should be, right? I have two little boys, so I appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. I am just truly humbled for this honor. I acknowledge and thank the leadership of the Princeton YWCA and its board, my employer, Thomas Edison State University, which empowers adult learners through higher education. My colleagues who are here with me to support me this evening, I thank you for your friendship and for our working relationship. John Thurber and Michelle Sakirka, who have been so instrumental in my professional life and nominated me for this prestigious award this evening. My mentors, Amy Mansue and Sonia Delgado, my dear friends who are like family, and some of my biggest supporters, Dr. Joseph Youngblood, Bill Watson, Barbara George Johnson, Angela Chapman. Thank you so much for the role that you play in my life and my success. My companion, who is my love and my partner in life, and my dear brother and our late parents, may they forever live on in our hearts. They taught us well, and we continue to work hard so that we make them proud. All of my friends that are here tonight to support me, and more importantly, the Princeton YWCA. I am truly honored to be recognized for the work that I do throughout the state of New Jersey, but more importantly, in Mercer County, and hello, can you hear me? Okay. And most importantly, in the city of Trenton. I tell you, it is truly an honor to me, and I appreciate the tagline, if you will, of the YWCA, which is the YWCA on a mission. Whether you accept it or not, systemic oppression continues to be a barrier to women and people of color in our society. It's the fact. Organizations like the YWCA work hard to create parity, and we should be grateful for that. I stand here before you as a Black young woman, and I'm so grateful for their efforts on my behalf. I am also grateful to be able to be a voice for so many who do not have a seat at so many tables. There's so much work to still do, and we all have to be in this fight together to save our communities, our state, our country, and today on International Women's Day, the world, and move it in the right direction. May God, who's the center of my life, bless you all. Happy Women's History Month, happy Women's International Day, and thank you.
Zoe Brooks is the executive director and co-founder of the Trenton Circus Squad. Because of her, hard-to-reach youth have a chance to engage in circus arts and take great leaps in life. Congratulations, Zoe. Come on up.
Wow. This is a tremendous honor, and I want to thank the YWCA, particularly for helping me to understand their mission better. I'm so delighted to discover an organization that just in two lines speaks the values that I hold dear. So I'm really proud to be associated with the YWCA and super honored for this award. I always really wanted to find a way to let young people figure out how to be the best selves. We all talk about that a lot, but sometimes we don't always give them the place that they need for that. And so I have always looked for unconventional ways of doing that. And then coming to this country and this state, I recognized that there's an astonishing inequality of opportunity afforded to youth of different backgrounds. I just have found it stunning. If Trenton Circus Squad's work is a little bit of a step in the right direction, then that just makes me really proud. I owe everything to the people who have supported us, our funders, the young people who have lifted one another up and are, as we speak, performing at MacArthur Theatre, along with a wonderful young woman of color who is directing a show that they're in. But I also particularly want to acknowledge one person. You may have heard in the video that I said that at the end of this month I'm stepping aside from my work at Trenton Circus Squad. Not stepping aside from empowering women or eliminating racism, but I am leaving that job. And I'm handing the leadership over to somebody who is ineligible for this award, but no less deserving. And that's my co-founder, Tom von Osen, who's here tonight. So, Tom, thank you. It's been a wonderful journey, and you deserve this too. Thank you.
Martha Sword is a community leader chairing the Capital Campaign Committee for the Princeton First Aid and Rescue Squad. She is an inspiration to us. Congratulations, Martha.
Well, thank you. Thank you to the YWCA for gathering a room full of energy and positivity. And thank you to my family and friends who have come a long way. It means a lot to me, and thank you so much. Thanks to all of you for giving me the opportunity to spotlight the ongoing needs of the Princeton First Aid and Rescue Squad. It's an essential and hardworking organization that has patiently waited a very long time to build a new headquarters. Thank you to the folks who nominated me for this award, Jackie Samard and Mark Frieda of Princeton First Aid and Rescue Squad, Carolyn Biondi and all the folks at Arm in Arm, and Kate Germond and all my friends at Centurion. My son, Will, brought to my attention the work of a woman by the name of Mary McLeod Bethune. She was the 17th child of former slaves. She was an educator, as well as a civil and women's rights pioneer. I'll close with her words because she speaks for us all. Faith is the first factor in a life devoted to service. Without it, nothing is possible. With it, nothing is impossible. Thank you.
There is a lot of energy in this room tonight. Patricia Zeta is principal at the Kaufman Zeta Group, New Jersey's 4th largest contract lobbying firm. She is one of New Jersey's most prominent leaders. Congratulations, Trish. Come on up.
Last but not least, to Michelle Sakurka and Catherine Malone for nominating me, thank you so much. It's humbling to be in the company of the other ladies you've met tonight, the other honorees, and all the ladies that have been honorees before us. It's an amazing group of ladies. I think it's a common theme you've heard tonight. Those of us who do what we do, we have an incredible network and support system, and I'd like to thank mine who are here tonight. First, my mom and dad who are with us, and my sister. Thank you for being my foundation and my bedrock, and giving us, my sister and I, a moral compass of north always. Thank you. My husband, Jake, who is truly a patient man and very supportive. I come home with sometimes half-baked crazy ideas, and he says, sounds good, honey, you can do that. My daughters, Julia and Laura, I'm so proud of you. You inspire me every day to do better and be a better person. I know the world's a better place because you're in it. My friends who are here tonight, I have an incredible sisterhood. Thank you for being there, for being supportive, for helping, for listening, for being my village. I love you for it. My work family, the KZG family, you guys are truly peaceful warriors every day going out and doing battle in a nonsensical area sometimes that we work in, which is government and politics, and trying to bring common sense to what we need to do. I'm honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with you every day, and I thank you so much for your support. I would just end by saying I thought about what this award meant to me, and I realized that there are small things that I could do every day, and I hope everyone here would think about doing the same. A quote from someone you've heard probably often is Gandhi, and he said, "Be the change that you want to see in the world." And so the small change that I think I can make and that we can all make is just to believe the best in each other, suspend judgment, lead with an open heart, and be kind, because we're all different. And different is just different. It's not bad. It's just different. We think differently, we look differently, we all act differently, but I believe that we are all genuinely good, and if we lead with the assumption that people are truly good, whether it be here or the vast majority of people in the world, and we look at each other through that lens first with that open heart and kindness, that we will achieve the mission of the Y. It's an honor. I thank you for this.
Congratulations to all our honorees. We will take a 15-minute break so you can enjoy dessert, you can enjoy some coffee, and celebrate with the honorees, and then Megan, Adams, and I will be back for closing remarks. Thank you. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Okay, everyone, I know you're enjoying each other and everyone, so we want to close out the evening tonight. Just if you could be quiet for a few minutes, which I know this isn't a quiet group. It's a very empowered group. But Megan and I want to congratulate this year's honorees. And again, thank our staff, our sponsors, everybody who contributed to this beautiful night. And if you liked what you saw tonight and were inspired, please take home our annual report and learn more about us and support us in our mission. And now we'd like to ask, we're going to close the evening out, but we'd like to ask our former honorees to come up for a group picture because there's so many of you and we want to memorialize this event. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to